Hi everyone, thanks so much for being here. My name is Kat and I make houseplant videos here on Good and Planty. If you just so happen to absolutely love this video, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, or following me on Instagram. All these things help me grow my channel like a plant. Or you can also check out my memberships and join our little Discord server if you're feeling crazy. All right, today we're tackling a task that I've been putting off for a long time, but I think the end product is gonna be really cool and fun, so I wanted to share this whole process with all of you. Basically, today we're taking this Hoya Carnosa Crimson Princess, not to be confused with the Crimson Queen, whose white is on the outside. We are repotting this thing and we're giving it a trellis. It's getting an entire makeover. It looks okay from this distance. If you look closely, basically the major problem here is that it is very much outgrowing the pot. And this is big box store soil that I just never got around to changing. I am very adamant about switching out big box store soil almost immediately after bringing it home, but for some reason, this plant just kept getting neglected for like a year and a half from when I first got it to now. It is very much overdue for a repotting with fresh soil. Also, at this point, a lot of the soil has actually gotten pushed out of the pot from watering, I think, and the roots. So there isn't even that much soil in here and the roots are clinging on for dear life to whatever they can get. I always have leaves like this, no matter how much I water it, that are very soft and wrinkly and bendy. And that is a sign of a thirsty plant, but of course, no matter how much I water it, there's not really enough soil to retain any water for the plant to actually drink up. This is like a perpetually thirsty plant that is really doing her best, and all of her tendrils are constantly looking for things to cling on. You can even see it happening up here on the hook. So I also got this bamboo trellis slash stake to encourage this plant to vine up. So I'm gonna go ahead and repot this plant today with you and show you the process of this makeover. I'm so excited to see the final product. I'm gonna set everything up on the floor and I will see you down there. All right, we are on the floor and real quick, I just want to go over some of the supplies I have today. I have my soil bucket that you all know that I love. In there I have my pretty typical soil mixture that I've talked about before in a video. I did go a hair bit more heavy on the orchid bark because Hoya really do like orchid bark in their soil, and there's really no harm in going a hair heavy on the orchid bark, so that's what I did. Then I got this actually off of Amazon. I really like it. It's a cute cover pot with stand. I will link it in my Amazon shop if anyone's curious. There is a drainage hole in here, but it does come with a plug, so it's fine to put a nursery pot in there, and when the water drains out, it's not gonna leak through the pot. It holds a 10-inch pot, so I have a 10-inch nursery pot here from a different plant. It fits okay. There's like a little bit of protrusion, about an inch, but I think that the foliage from the Hoya kind of spilling over the top of the pot is going to cover it, at least eventually. I don't love that. I tend to like perfect fitting things, but it'll work. Then I have this 4-foot bamboo trellis slash stake that I'm going to encourage the Hoya to kind of grow over. I did go a little bit dramatic with this and the 4 feet, but I want this to be a standing vertical piece in my hallway. So you know what, go big or go home. And I'll also have this linked down below in the Amazon shop. This is the Hoya. And then the last thing I have is my plant folio repotting mat. You guys all asked me about it, so I'm gonna mention what it is this time. It's a plant folio repotting station and it is linked in my description box as well. That's everything I'm using and how to access it. And now we're just gonna jump in. I'm gonna take my 10-inch nursery pot and add in a pretty good base layer. Oh my god, this soil looks so good. I did, not to toot my own horn, but I did a good job. And move this out of the way. All right, so I have about, I would say like 2 or 3 inches on the base of this pot, and I kind of made a little bit of a valley in here to hold this plant. I am so curious to see what this plant looks like in here. Let's see, I think first I'm gonna take off the hanger. That always makes it a little bit easier, but it's a pain to get them off. Okay, took this thing off. Oh, I'm sorry. This Hoya is really in here. All right, hanger off. And now we're just gonna kind of shimmy her out of the pot. She's not stuck in there at all because there's barely any soil. Yeah, it's not that she's extremely heavily overgrown in here, honestly. It's just that the soil quality is extremely low. There's no nutrients in here. I think it's really only some peat and perlite, to be honest, and it's very compacted. I don't know. She just needs a fresh home. So I'm gonna go ahead, and in this case, I am loosening up the soil because I want to make sure that she has access to the nutrients in here. I don't want compacted soil getting in the way. I don't always break up the roots and take off all of the old soil, but in this case, I think it's a bit necessary. To do that, you just kind of massage the root ball until the soil comes off. Be a little bit gentle, but sometimes you might have to put like a little bit of force in it just to get things rolling. So I didn't have all of the soil come off completely. I don't know how well you can see it, but I do have an exposed root system, and I'm hoping that I am now encouraging it to grow into this fresh, delicious, new, nutrient-dense soil. And now that I can see how big this root system is, I'm actually gonna go ahead and fill this in just a little bit more because I think that there would be a lot of empty space. So I'm gonna put in a few more drops of this. Okay, sure. All right, now I would say I'm about like 3-4 inches deep into this pot. And again, I'm gonna make a little bit of a valley. And now I'm going to plop her in. She is so big. And in here, I am breaking up all of the propagations a bit so that I can get this pole in here. All right, this is the floor, so this is the mama plant. And if you look in here, the plant has broken into a few different pieces because it's a bunch of propagations plugged into one pot. That's kind of what big box store plants and most house plants are. So now that I broke off the soil enough to kind of, you know, break up the plant into a few pieces, I have a big piece here. I was able to wiggle the trellis in the middle, and then I have the other part of the plant over there. And now, honestly, all I have to do in this situation is backfill. I'll be honest, this pot is a little bit big for this plant, but I wanted to accommodate the trellis. So I had to make sure that there was enough weight in here to kind of hold it down. And I also really liked that pot. And then also on top of that, this plant doesn't go very deep, but it is very wide. So a 10-inch pot does accommodate the kind of creepingness of this Hoya, but the depth is a little bit dramatic. I definitely recommend using a moisture meter so that you can make sure that the pot throughout is completely dry, not just one spot. And then also just wait for it to get a little bit extra dry, just because there's like extra soil in here that's gonna retain the moisture. Some tips I definitely have are to continue to rotate the plant as you backfill so that neither the plant or the trellis starts tipping over to one side. Also, make sure that you're lifting up all of that foliage to really see what's going on underneath. The last big tip I have is to not forget the center of the pot, because usually we get really focused on backfilling around the edge of the pot, but plants, especially like Hoya, where there's a lot of foliage spilling out everywhere, you just want to make sure that you're putting a few scoops into the middle of the pot, just so that all of the roots are covered throughout. So all right, now I'm gonna pop in. Now that we potted her up, I just wanted to bring her a little bit closer so that you could see how I'm going to start veining her up. I already did a few, but I wanted to get her in the pot so I could see exactly what's going on. I'm gonna try out these clips first and see how well they work for helping the Hoya cling onto the trellis. Just wrap her around like so. And then let's see if this is big enough. Oh, it's perfect. And then you just clip it like that and you're good. Honestly, for this side, the pole is skinnier, so I'm actually gonna use the Velcro to secure down the vines on this other side. I have my little piece of Velcro right here, and I'm just gonna go in and secure this piece like so. So you can really use either the clips or the Velcro depending on what you like and what the thickness of your pole is. All right, she is finished. Ta-da! Oh my God, I think she looks so good. And honestly, I don't think that the 4-foot trellis is all that dramatic. I think she's absolutely going to vine across. So I started, I would say at least 3 vines on each side so that it looks even and full. I'm sure more vines are going to want to go up naturally, but I wanted to do the 3 just to start. And then I left a bunch of vines to kind of spill over and hide this ugly lip. And then I also added little, I forgot what these are called, like the little furniture feet, furniture shoes. So just to protect my floor so I can kind of slide it around as I'm watering. And yeah, I think it looks really, really good. I am so proud of myself. All right, so that's gonna be it for today's video. That was the transformation. I am over the moon about it. I think it looks great. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions about any of the things that I talked about today, please feel free to drop them down below in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. Please subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Check out my description box. There are a bunch of cool things and discount codes in there for you. And also, please consider becoming a member if you want access to the members only Discord server. Okay, that's it. Those are all of my plugs. I will see you in my next video. Bye. All right, huge thank you to all of my members. Thank you to O'Neill, Val, Katrina, Audrey, Louie, Heather, _B, Jacqueline, Linda, Michaela, Brooke, Laura, Daniel, Vanessa, and thank you to Michelle for joining. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.